there's so many people on the earth who have such a small view of God that they don't see any need to fear him. And then you've got millions of people who claim to be Christians or followers of Jesus Christ, and yet their lives look nothing like his, and they don't seem to be concerned about it. But maybe the biggest concern with the church today is this apparent lack of the Holy Spirit's power. I mean, when you read the New Testament, you see that the Holy Spirit was supposed to change everything so that this gathering of people who called themselves Christians had this supernatural element about them, the supernatural power about them. But nowadays, can you really tell the difference? I mean, by the actions of a person who calls himself a Christian versus the actions of someone who denies the existence of Jesus. And do you really see the supernatural power at work when the believers gather together for what we call church? When Jesus was on the earth, he was getting ready to die. He was getting ready to leave, and he gathers his disciples together, and they're kind of freaking out about this because they're going, wait, Jesus, you're going to leave the earth? And Jesus says, don't worry, because I'm going to send someone else. In fact, this is going to be to your advantage. It's better than having me on the earth. Imagine hearing those words. If you're one of the disciples, you're thinking, what could be better than having the Son of God next to me? I mean, I've seen this guy raise a person from the dead. I've seen him give sight to the blind. I've been walking hand in hand with the creator of the universe, and now you're gonna tell me something better? Jesus says, no, this will be better. And in fact, after Jesus dies, he rises from the grave and he gathers the disciples together again. And now the disciples are just in awe. And Jesus says, now wait here. Wait here. I'm going to heaven, but don't worry, just wait here because the Holy Spirit is going to come upon you. Don't go out and try to change the world on your own. You're gonna mess everything up. Stay here and wait, and you will receive power when the Holy Spirit comes upon you, and then you'll be my witnesses to the rest of the world. So they're in this room and they're praying and they're going, okay, when's he gonna come? When's he gonna come? For days and days and days, they're praying, waiting for the Holy Spirit. And then suddenly one day, it says that there was this sound like a rushing wind, so like this hurricane type of sound coming into the room, and then suddenly fire starts coming down from heaven, and it's landing on each of their heads, and you're going, okay, this is it. Then pretty soon everyone in the room starts speaking these different languages. And when they walk outside and they're speaking these different languages, during that time there were tons of people from these other nations, and they're listening to them going, wait a second, I understand that guy. And someone else is going, wait, I understand him. And they're all hearing them in their own languages. It was an absolute miracle. And then all these things start happening, right? People start getting healed, and this group of people start bonding, and they really just have this supernatural love for one another. It was an amazing, amazing time. And people were drawn. They were drawn to these gatherings because they're saying, what is going on here? I've known that guy my whole life. He's been crippled his whole life, and now he's walking. These guys are doing these supernatural things, and that's what attracted people to these believers. This is what attracted people to church. Now jump forward a couple thousand years. Now, you go to a building, someone gives you a bulletin, you sit in a chair, you sing a few songs, a guy delivers maybe a polished message, maybe not. Someone sings a solo, you go home. Isn't it the same Holy Spirit that's supposed to be available to us today? Why is it so different? I heard one person say the church nowadays is neither super nor natural. Everything's very predictable and everything is expected. You plan, and there's a truth to that. I mean, I feel bad about it, but being around the church culture and even leading a gathering of believers, I've gotten pretty good at predicting what's going to happen in a church service. I can tell you, you know what, hey, this message is going to be a pretty good one. I think most people like it, or actually some people are going to have a problem with this. I'm going to get a lot of emails. You know, oh, the band's going to sing this song, and at the end, you know, they get it all ramped up, and the guitar makes this sound, and everyone's going to just start, you know, just clapping, applauding right here, or I'll go, oh, gosh, she's singing this solo today. I don't think it's gonna be that great. You know, it's everything so predictable. Was that the way it was supposed to happen when Jesus says, no, there's a power. There's gonna be a supernatural power, and you are gonna receive this supernatural power. And it was happening. It was happening. It was seen. It was noticed. In fact, they would say that people were astonished by the boldness of Peter and John. People were astonished by this courage that those early believers had. When Jesus said this power would come upon you, it really did come upon them, and they were powerful beings. Why is it that in the church so many people are weak or defeated, or we get so insecure because we look at ourselves rather than God? It doesn't make sense.